Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Spiritual Events Directory, Awaken Your Inner Power. I am absolutely honored, and it's my great pleasure to be here yet again, bringing you this weekly broadcast. Today, I just want to say that with all that I do in the work that I do, I am here not to impress you, but to impress upon you that anything is possible for absolutely everyone. You know, when we look at different behaviors that people have when it comes to working things out, often they are very very distracted by having other people as part of the reason why they don't make the results that they make. Now, when I talk about business, I'm talking about business as a general. It's business as far as if you're working for yourself or for anyone, then you really do have an ability to put all this information into your workplace, because what you're doing is you're creating, it's important to connect. It's important to put yourself out there and be very, very visible when you're doing these, when you're working for somebody or yourself. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are. This information applies to absolutely everyone. Hello, Maggie. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have an absolutely beautiful day in Brisbane today. It's really lovely after a big thunderstorm, probably around about the same time yesterday. That was an absolute cracker. And I'm so glad I wasn't broadcasting then, because that was actually, it frightened the life out of me. So I wouldn't want that to have been broadcast either. So so it's really, wherever you are in your life, whatever your challenges are, whatever your little road bumps and humps are along the way, let's talk about that. Let's find out how we can move through those things and really give you access to a sense of higher space, a sense of higher abilities, and a sense of a higher you. When you look at yourself and you know who you are, often people are going to be asking, what your name is and all the other things that go with it. But it's really important to understand and know who you truly are. And that's the frequency that you need to step into to really move forward. So all of you on this call, on this show at the moment, I'd love to know where you are. Don't hide away. It's, you're here to be seen. You're here to be loved. You're here to be to receive the information that we provide for you. So, don't sit back, don't hide away. Come forward and ask the questions that mean something to you, because when they mean something to you, they absolutely mean something to somebody else out there. So ask away, and let's get this show on the road. Okay. So who's got something that they want to ask today? Let's work on that. It's all about you. I really want to see you all move forward and really create the best version of yourself each and every day. So just while we're waiting for people to come in with some questions, I just want to share with you, it was my wedding anniversary yesterday. We had an absolutely lovely, peaceful day. We had a beautiful dinner last night, and it was really nice. So 15 years and that we've been married, and it was just a lovely day all round. So if anybody wants to share anything that they did yesterday or this week, please feel free to do that as well. And as I said, we can only move forward with information that is particularly generated for you as we look at this the questions that come forward. So please feel free to ask questions. Please feel free to really stand up and if you're going to participate in your life, you really want to be doing it fully. You want to be finding out and asking questions and knowing how to expand where you're at in your life, and don't stand still. Don't be afraid to ask. There is never any question that is not viable and is not going to help not only you but anybody who visits this video along the way. Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much. Maggie, when are you going to find love? Maggie, I think we did talk about this last week as well. We touched on this a little bit. So it's really important that you are really, truly ready for love. It's really important for you to know that what you hold unconditionally within yourself, and you must love yourself unconditionally, and you must practice gratitude every day to know that when you vibrate at that frequency, you are going to receive the perfect person. If I may ask, Maggie, when was the last time, like how long have you been out of a relationship? How long have you been feeling like you're ready for that relationship? And if I can ask you to look at also what occurred in your last relationship, what went wrong, and how were you able to move through that? Because nobody's going to change loneliness. You can be in a perfect relationship and still feel very lonely. So what is it that you want to achieve from that relationship as well? Hi, Kim. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. And, I really appreciate everybody that comes on this show and does, ask some questions and stand up, because it's not only, as I said, it's not only helping you guys, it's actually helping everybody else as well. So out of the relationship 5 months, and it's really important to know that you have healed from that relationship, because while you're not healed, you're still going to have this loneliness. You have to be 100% absolutely happy with who you are and not be relying on someone else to bring that happiness to you, because you are not going to change. Nobody else can change the way that you feel about yourself. So be unconditionally in love with you. Send love and blessings to everybody around you all the time. And know that when you start looking at the qualities of what you want in a person, then it's going to help you to understand that the time may not be ready for you to find that person at the moment. Loneliness is something that is held within, and we have everything within us. Everything that you want is within you, and it will only come to you when you are really, truly 100% ready to receive that. So all of this information, what are the qualities that you want in a person? You need to make that list. You need to write down exactly what you want that relationship to be, and understand that whatever that list is, it is not negotiable. Not one thing on that list needs to be, oh, well, that one thing isn't part of who this person is, so I'll just accept 9 out of 10 things. You know what? That means that the perfect person on that list has walked past you because you weren't looking and open to receive the perfect list. It is possible, and it's really important that you don't negotiate that list. You've written that list for a reason, and anything is possible once you lift your frequency and start vibrating that out to the universe. Then that's exactly what you're going to receive back. So really important to do that. You might mentally be ready for this relationship, but emotionally there's still saying, if you're lonely, if you're feeling lonely, then you still got some things to work through there, Maggie. And it's really important that you do make sure that you do that work. before you do go through. So, because he likes men. Yeah, well, that's very disheartening, and there could be still some anger in that, and that you haven't let go of. There could be still some, in a way, jealousy because of what happened. Of course, you're going to feel very hurt because of the circumstances of that breakup. So, while it's a very sad situation, and that you've gone through this life together with, all of this to create the relationship that you had, you need to heal within yourself. And so that you are very happy with who you are, 100%. 100% happy with who you are. It's because if you're not, then you're going to be looking for someone to make that happiness come to you. And nobody else can make us happy. We're happy within ourselves. Only we can acknowledge where we're at and how we're going to be able to move through that. So that's when you're going to be totally ready. When you are unconditionally in love with who you are, when you are 100% happy with your own self-image, when you have dealt with all the underlying issues that have come with that marriage breakup, and when you've got that complete list. Now, your husband may have had some really great qualities. Take those qualities and put them on your list. But remember that there's also other people who have got really great qualities, whether they're friends, whether they're family. Look at your father. What are the qualities in your father that you absolutely love and admire and really respect? These are the qualities that you want in that list. So hopefully that makes sense a little bit for you. When will I get over my fear of driving and traveling? Okay. Maria, really great question. And I would love to know when that started and what happened. Was there a car accident? Was it what occurred at the time that brought that fear on, or is that always been there? That's a really good question. I will come back, let me know. We'll come back to that for sure. I have a friend and I'm starting to like him more than a friend. Okay, start putting it out there. Start to, what are the qualities in him that you like? Are there any qualities you don't like? Because if there's qualities you don't like, you could, your reasons for getting into that relationship might be blurred and not seeing the full thing. So try and look at this as an observer of who you are and who this other person is. And that's great. But remember that your loneliness needs to be healed. Your anger and your hurt needs to be healed because of the circumstances around the marriage breakup. Kim, hi, my ex left me for someone else 3 years ago. Last year I met the man of my dreams. He's younger than me, 28 years younger. I'd like to know if it will last. Kim, if you this is really good. This is great. The only person that can really answer to a certain extent on whether that will last is, first of all, congratulations and go you. 28 years, you're young, your younger self. Perfect. So what is he in the relationship for? What's your communication like? What is your whole relationship about? Because remember, there's going to be a lot more to this relationship than what you are currently having. And the reason that I say that is because with a 28-year gap, there's going to be a point when this relationship comes where you're not able to do all the things that perhaps he can do. And so, is he prepared to, or what's his feelings, and have you talked about what's going to happen in the future? What's going to happen in another 28 years? you know, and I don't know how old you are, but this is definitely something that needs to be an open conversation. Um, and how much do you want this relationship to last, you know, for how long? You know, write this down in your affirmations. You're so happy and grateful that you have this beautiful relationship, and you know, then start writing down a list of how you want this relationship to evolve, and how you want this relationship to expand, and how you want it to be in those later years, in particularly your life, because of the age gap. And don't get me wrong, the age gap is nothing. It's only what you know, it's only what other people see. I'm sure it's not something that you guys see. So, you know, but it is important to know how you want that relationship to be, you know, in another 30 years, or, you know, when things can't, when the time comes, that you're not able to physically maybe do all the things that you are currently doing with this person. Hi, Brenda. Welcome to the show. Deborah, hello. Lovely to have you back. Maria, I'm married and feel the same loneliness. Yeah, okay. So loneliness, again, is only something that you can replace with your own happiness. So what is it that makes you lonely? Is it loneliness of, do you not like your own company? Because when you unconditionally love yourself, your own company is amazing. And, you know, if you enjoy your own company, then you can start enjoying the company of others for the right reason, not for the wrong reason. You just don't want to fill a void in your life because, you know, there's nobody there at the moment. It's really important to understand that all the happiness that you want is within you. All the loneliness that you feel at the moment, what is causing that? Where has that come from? And how are you going to work through that? Because nobody can take loneliness around. You can be in a really great relationship. You can be in a room full of people every day, and the loneliness will not go away unless unless you do the work, unless you feel like you're okay, unless you feel like you are worthy and you deserve the happiness that you want with having another relationship. So all of these things factor into where you're at the moment. What happened in your last relationship? You know, is that loneliness actually something else, or is it loneliness? Is it that you feel a little bit resentful or jealous about maybe what they've got now rather than what you have now? So a lot of things to take into consideration there, and it's really important that you challenge yourself on your emotions and your feelings to ensure that you can really move forward in your life before you can move it forward with somebody else. And again, that list is imperative to have as a non-negotiable. Keep adding to that list every time you see a great quality in somebody. Kim, I love him so much, he adores me. That is absolutely amazing. I love that. That's incredible. You're welcome, Maggie. I hope that helped for you. Maria, 8 years ago and years of therapy, I haven't found what actually triggered it. Okay. I haven't left my small town in years. It's taking a toll on me and my children and your marriage. Yeah, Maria, look, wow. You know, sometimes therapy, and, you know, while therapy can help in certain things, when you continually talk about the same thing over and over, you keep living that story. You know, maybe baby steps in. If you're living in a small town, I'm assuming there's not loads of traffic. Is it possible just to try and drive in and out of your driveway? You know, do the physical work. Write affirmations, you know, every day. Write some affirmations. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm driving to wherever the closest place is that you want to drive to. with your family in the car. All of these things, put all of these in your affirmation and just write it every single day so that you can come to terms, and that's slowly going to lift the vibration of that fear. But there's something further that's caused that. And 8 years ago, there's something on a deeper level there that occurred, that when you start writing these affirmations, and even just getting in the car, sitting in the driver's seat, visualize yourself driving, something might come up that you can now release. But doing the actions rather than just sitting and talking about some stuff that is putting you back in that story of not being able to drive is imperative to work through. So, to start with, it might be just going to the driver's seat and sitting in the car, doing some visualizations around that. It might be turning the car on and feeling the vibration of the car. And this might trigger something that has occurred to create this circumstance for you. Putting it in reverse and driving it, even if it's only 3 feet, whatever it is, just the smallest of steps. 1 week it might just be listening to the engine turn over. The next week it might be this tiny little drive backwards and forwards. The week after you might go all the way out the driveway and or get all the way to the end and drive all the way back. It's starting to feel comfortable with doing these small steps and getting that comfortable feeling of being in the car and being in control of that. And I guarantee that you're going to start seeing some stuff come up that perhaps triggered that. And there might be stuff, you might be unraveling some layers that have also been suppressed on top of that. So there might be some other things that come up for you through that process until you get to the real reason. But you know what? Every little bit that you do is absolutely going to help you to be able to create that confidence that you feel to do that. And of course, absolutely make sure that you feel safe doing it. If at any point in time you don't feel safe, then just do those little steps. Do those little steps, one step at a time. You may want to do it on your own rather than having somebody in the car with you, until you feel like, you're just going, a little bit further. And then you may want somebody with you in case you do get this anxiety that comes up for you, or this fear or this nervousness that you might feel. So hopefully that might help you just to step through that a bit more. That will definitely create some more steps for you to take. But I really do think that this is going to be great for you, a great way for you to start working. Yes, I'm absolutely fine. Yeah. And it's amazing we get on great. That's so good. Yes, we have talked a bit of, he's an amazing person. You know what? Oh, wow, look at that. 2654. So you still got loads of life left in you yet. You know what? If you're not seeing the anything other than what you feel, then that's amazing. What other people think doesn't matter. Don't take that on. It's not their business. It's not your business what they think. As long as you guys are happy and you talk about what this is all going to bring down the track, like I said, in another 28 years, it's really important to know where this goes from here, because at some point age will become an issue, but not for the reasons that there's an age gap. It will be more on the physical side. So yeah, Maggie, I reckon too. You go, girl. I love that. So happy. Thank you. You're welcome, Kim. You're very welcome. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome. You're 14 years old, abused by stepfather, developed phobia of dying and ceasing to exist. As my Mind stretched to breaking. I was taken from my body and shown heaven. Wow, the unconditional love was overwhelming and reassuring. Still spent way too many years healing after the abuse ended 3 years later. I'm growing. That is what an incredible story. That is, you know what? That experience has brought your reason to live back, which is incredible. What are you really passionate about? You know, is there something in this story that can help you to help others move forward? What is it that you can do that's going to help other people understand that even if they don't experience that actual experience, even, you know, you can because it actually occurred, you can give them the feelings, the emotions, the visualization of what that is and what it meant to you. What is it that you want to be able to do with this story? Because there's some gift there that you're able to share with others without living in that story every single day, because we don't want to be in that story. But as an observer, you can look down and share that. So, you know, this is something you can do. And I'm not sure where your path is leading you, but you have a really great, very, very important gift there that wow. To share that with others is amazing. Elizabeth, mine is 21, I'm 62. Wow. This is a bit of a thing going on today. That's amazing. So from 14 to now, there's so much that you can give from that story, Elizabeth. And, you know, this experience not only with the out-of-body experience, but look at where you're at now. Look at your relationship. You know, this is something that you've been able to work through and really get to a point of where you're at. And interesting though, in your circumstances, that you've gone for somebody younger rather than somebody your own age or a little bit older. And you know, that's great. I'm just bringing up that it may be related to the fact of what happened to you when you were 14. So you've gone younger rather than the same or older. So that's amazing. Maria, I can drive a couple of miles out of town, but then the fear steps in and stops me. I start doubting myself and the panic attacks kicking in. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is great, Maria. This is really great. More information that you've brought in and that you've shared here, because what that means is that by you writing these affirmations down, sitting in the car, getting that visualization of where you want to go and what it looks like and what it feels like, so that you're surpassing those, you're overriding those behaviors of fear that creep in when you get so far. So this, you know, the fact that you can just drive a little bit is amazing. So what I would be doing is writing all the positive things around that. Even if you draw a column down the center of a page, and what you find is, you know, write all the positives of what, or actually write all the negatives of what you are doing. Write all the negative things down that are not, you know, that you're missing out on because of this. And then I would write all the positive things down on the things that you know, you want to be able to do and the things that you want to achieve. And then what I would do is I would take all those positive things and I would write them on a separate page. And I would really, as you're writing it, I would really visualize all those positivity things that you want, and set an intention while you're doing that. So what you're writing, what you're feeling, what you're visualizing, and what you're creating for the future. So setting that intention as you do it. And then a really great way to do this is to burn it in your kitchen sink. So that's just letting it go and receiving it back from the universe. So it's a symbol of what you're feeling and what you want to occur. And just allow it. Once you let it go, just allow it. And you don't need to know how, you don't need to know any of that. What you need to know is that you've let it go and it will come back to you. Just keep doing these little drives that you're doing at the moment, because that's going to create, one day you're just going to be in that car and you're going to be driving, and then you're going to come back and you're going to go, hang on, what happened? There was no stopping me. There was no fear. There was no doubt. But you are so worthy of creating a life that you really want. And by doing that, that involves you to get in the car and take yourself places that you haven't been in a long time. You know, you're worthy of opening up your world to other opportunities. So just know that. Just know that it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. When you are burning that, those positive, intentional things that you've written down, and the visualization, and that is powerful in itself. But also make sure every day you're writing affirmations. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm driving. Pick a place you want to drive to, and that you're feeling like whatever you're feeling like, you know, put yourself in that space, put yourself there in that moment as you reach that point. So all of these things are really powerful when you do it every day. Those affirmations are important to write down every day. So amazing. Music kept me alive, but I came to understand that this was something I agreed to go through when I incarnated, so I could help others. That's perfect. That is absolutely 100% what it needs to be. So you are exactly where you need to be. You are doing exactly what you need to be doing, and you know, this gift is really powerful, and so many people can relate to that. How are you, you know, we don't know how far or wide our ripple effect goes, and it's really important to know that. So the people that you're reaching, the people that you're speaking to, the people that you're sharing your gift with, people that you're giving purpose to through your purpose and your passion, you know, amazing. You're saving lives around the world that you don't even realize that you're doing. So that in itself is just, that's 100-fold of what you've experienced. Doesn't get better than that. It's been diagnosed as agoraphobia, but no solutions. Oh, okay. And you know what? Don't be reliant upon a name. People so often, and I do this without most respect, Maria, when people are diagnosed, just say for instance, they've been diagnosed with chronic fatigue, and they say, I've got chronic fatigue, I've got chronic fatigue, I've got chronic fatigue, I've got chronic fatigue. They talk to people and they say, what's wrong with you? I've got chronic fatigue. So they're never going to lose the symptoms of chronic fatigue. They're never going to step out of that because they're always in it. So while a diagnosis sometimes helps us to understand what needs to be done on a spiritual level, I suppose you could say, to move through that, on a holistic level, to move through that. A name is a name, and it doesn't belong to you. You don't own it. And you know, when you're writing your when you're writing your negativity, your negative side of your 2 columns down, maybe you can write that down as that, and then in the positive side you could write down something along the lines of a diagnosis is irrelevant to where I am at in my life at the moment, something like that. Because it is only a name, and there are ways that you can internally work through that to help you get into a space that is really going to serve you better in your future. So hopefully that's helped. Hi, Beverly. Welcome. Hello. Gosh, haven't seen you on here for a little while. Elizabeth, younger has something I've preferred most of my life. Good on you. My ex is 19 years younger, but they all had to convince me it was okay and real. I've never been with someone this much younger. Hey, doesn't matter. It's what you want. Western medicine has a few solutions and lots of labels. Meditation, affirmations, you can do this. Absolutely 100%. 100%. And remember that when I'm sharing this information, sometimes the way in which this comes through to me to send out is for that person to understand on the same level. So, you know, while it's really wonderful that everybody wants to add into the conversation around helping others, sometimes there's a reason why it's left as it is. I am not always 100% sure what that reason is. I'm just taking the information and sending it out as it comes through. So, you know, sometimes these people on this show just need to hear it the way it is. And, you know, while there's a great intention behind your information that other people share, it's sometimes can take away from the information that we've passed through. So, Maria, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I share on Facebook and encourage where I can. That's amazing. Have you got a group going, Elizabeth? That would be, you know, if you could name the group for those who want to share their stories in a safe environment, and you can serve those people in a way that helps them to move forward. You know, you can do videos, you can do lives, you can do some other work with them in a way that you share that information. And I would also say that, you know, as you get through this, maybe you can offer a free course, like a challenge, or a course rather than a challenge. Only the terminology is really important, that they still feel safe. And then maybe, you know, step into some sort of mentoring around that. I don't know. Just a thought. It's there for a reason. It's come to me for a reason. So, you know, that's definitely worth thinking about. So I would start a group and then start from there, because things are going to work for you in a great way. Love your positivity and affirmations. Thank you, Beverly. Yeah, look, you know, again, every day. This is every day. You know, this every day. Every morning I do that. Every night I write my goals. I make every effort, and I don't have them here because last night was my anniversary and I actually didn't do them, so I am going to confess up to that. But what I'm doing is I'm making every effort to write one goal that I'm pursuing at the moment in the near future, 100 times the same goal every night. And if I'm not managing due to time, if I'm not managing 100, I'm doing at least 2 full cap pages. of the same goal. So, you know, it's on every line and things start to happen. So affirmations and writing things down, physically writing, not utilizing electronic equipment, because the subconscious mind gets overridden very easily with the patterns and behaviors we've been conditioned with. And when we're writing, then there's something in the fields of the body that send messages to the subconscious mind to override that. So it's very powerful to physically write. So hopefully that makes sense. I had oops, my page is moving. Fibromyalgia, I think that's how you say it, as well as several autoimmune disorders. I started telling myself I was recovering from a long illness. I'm no longer using my cane, which is awesome. Yay. I look 20 years younger than I am. I hike, I'm working. That is amazing. And you know what? Can I just add in here that when we're talking about recovering, we are always going to be recovering. So let's replace that with the absolute. I am so happy and grateful that I am fit, healthy. My internal organs are operating at 100% capacity every single day. And that creates my strength, you know, my body to be strong, healthy, fit. That's what you want to be putting in. We don't want to be using the words recovering, because recovering means we're always going to be recovering from, you know, the same with, you know, I used to many years ago use, I am a survivor of domestic violence, and I felt like my life was always, I was doing everything I could just to survive. So I changed that around, that, you know, I have this amazing relationship with my husband, that, you know, it's peaceful, it's harmonious, it's loving, it's caring, it's respectful, all of these things that go with that. And that's what we have. We have a wonderful relationship. And, you know, this is really important for us to know that I am in this relationship, you know, as this beautiful, caring, understanding, respectful, communicative relationship at all times. So important to understand what some words can do with the way that it brings things back to you. So, but I mean, you sound like you're doing amazing, but I guarantee you do even more amazing. You did start a group a couple of years ago, been thinking about resurrecting it. I think now's the time, Elizabeth. That message obviously was put out to you from me this morning because it's time for you to move into that. I think it's really important that, you know, that what you're here today for a reason. And I think this is part of the message that you needed to hear. So, you know, do that and get it up and running and move through with that. And you have so much to offer. I mean, look at where you've come from. Look at what you've been through. And you've used holistic healing processes to make that happen. So, you know, go you. And, you know, somebody much younger than yourself helps to be in that space as well. So go. It's amazing. Well done. Thank you, universe. Put your video up on my feed for a reason. Absolutely. Yeah, as I said, I didn't even see that comment before. So yes, thank you. You know what? It does. It makes a huge difference. And when we understand what the messages are that we're receiving and we're open to receive them, then it makes such a big difference in our lives moving forward. This is where you really start to do your quantum leaps. This is where you really start to move forward in a way that is so much more powerful than you could ever imagine. And when you start moving forward with this Elizabeth, I can just see how much more that you're going to create from there. So, get that group up and running again. Offer them this, support, and offer them information every day. Offer them, live videos, talk about your experiences yourself, so that, they know that you understand. And, then offer them some sort of a, what do I say, not a challenge, what was the word I used? Not a training, but some sort of a, God, I can't even think. See, because stuff comes into me and I don't always know, it's not coming from me necessarily. So, start that other, not the challenge, the other word that I used, and put that in and invite them to do that. And then, then you can start looking at being able to work through that. There's obviously more gifts that you have. I would say that looking at this, it's not necessarily mentoring, it's not necessarily coaching, but with your spiritual experience of where you're at and what you do, I think it's really, really important that you further develop your knowledge to invite them into some sort of a learning process. So, it's really amazing. So, hey, Kayla, welcome. Thanks for being here. Yeah. So you know what I'm trying to say. As I said, sometimes stuff just comes in and the words just come out. I don't always know that, I don't always control what happens. So especially when there's a big gap, if I'm stopping and I'm just like, and then it comes, sometimes I also get information that I need to filter a little bit. And that's often why I will say everything is said with the utmost respect, because sometimes this stuff just comes, and if it's just coming and I forget to filter, then it doesn't always come out. It can be quite blunt. But blunt is sometimes good, because that person obviously needed the bluntness of the message. So everything happens for a reason, like you said. So, I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that you've shared that story, because it is very personal, and it is also very, very inspiring to see where you've come. So that's amazing. Well done. Keep going. You might be able to develop your spiritual experience by investigating a little bit more with, and there's plenty of people on this page, this group, this platform, where you're able to learn so much more from them as well. So, stay within the realms of what's going on. There's lots of healers. There's lots of people who do tapping. There's lots of people that do many different variations. And there's lots of people who offer the little courses, on tapping or on breaking through different areas. I mean, I'm a breakthrough specialist, and I'm happy to help you out on your journey as well, if that's something that you want to investigate further. So you can message me if that's something that interests you. But it is important that you keep going on this journey. I'm just getting that it's really important that you keep sharing this, because you're changing lives and you don't know how far that goes. Maria, I always feel like I'm here and going through what I go through for a purpose, and I won't figure it out until I conquer my fears. Yeah, that's a really interesting point, Maria, and it's a really great point that you make. You know what? It's okay. We don't always have to know how things are going to happen, because the how will always happen once you've made that commitment to the decision. So what I'm feeling is that Sometimes figuring things out is not the important part. Sometimes it's the conquering of the fear that is going to make you move forward, and you're not even going to remember or want to know what you needed to figure out. How and why doesn't matter. You know, why things happen, it's not relevant to where you're headed. So it's not important to know that, you know, well, why did this happen to me? Or why did it happen at all? Or why do I have to feel like this? There's lessons in everything that we feel and see and visualize and believe. There's lessons, and nothing will stop until you take that lesson. So look at all those things that happen. Okay, what am I feeling? How is that affecting me? Journal the emotions that you're feeling around that. When you journal those emotions around those feelings, then you have the ability to create more. You have the ability to let go of stuff that you didn't even know you were holding on to, and you can move forward so much faster. So journaling is another great way when you go, okay, I'm feeling this emotion. Where's this emotion? Sometimes, and this fear may not even be yours to own. So know that that is part of what could be going on as well. So, you know, where does this fear come from when you're journaling? What's the emotion I'm feeling? Where does this come from? When was the first time I felt this? What is the reason that I felt this initially? And is this actually mine, or was this something that happened with somebody else that was with me at the time that created that feeling? So if you don't own it, you're going to get rid of it like that. If it is yours to own, and you've owned it for 8 years, then understand that you now know where that's originated, and that it's time to put that back in the space that it needs to go. And sometimes that can be walking out, standing on the grass, knowing that this fear has been acknowledged, that you understand where it's originated, and you are now going to let that flow right down your body, right down to your feet, and your feet will then, as it hits the earth, then the roots that are created beneath you will take that fear and pass it back down to Mother Earth. It's no longer yours. Do a little meditation around that, a little bit of gratitude around that when you feel that let go, and then you can start to live a life that you deserve to live. Because everybody is worthy of more than what they're living. Nobody lives their life to 100% capacity unless they start pushing themselves, unless they start understanding things like this. So really, really important. You have so much more to give. And, you know, Maria, you're an amazing person that has a gift that you can share. Maybe this is something you can do down the track. Maybe this is something that you can help other people work through as well. You know, you've experienced it. When it's gone, it's gone. But make sure that you don't take that back on. You know, make sure that you protect yourself before you talk to people about it. So you're not taking on any fear that they might be trying to pass on through your boundaries. So lots of things to take away from this today, which is amazing. I'm investigating the possibilities of creating a spiritual community where I live. Perfect. You can offer meditations. You can charge for that. That can be generalized. It won't be specific maybe to what your story is, but things will come out. You'd be surprised how many people have been through that when you start opening up at these group this community that you start attracting. I feel like there's something big Why am I okay? Who's got stuff going on with around their nose and the top lip at the moment? Somebody's got something going on. I feel like there's something big I'm supposed to be doing, but I can't figure out what. Just start the journey, Maria. It will all fall into place as you start letting go of stuff. And like I said, there's so much more that you have to offer. This is when you can learn the lessons out of all of this that you've been through and know that it's either yours that you can release or you don't even own it, so you can send it back to where it belongs. Then you can start creating this bigger picture, this bigger vision, this purpose that you've been given to be here and start serving other people. So, there's a lot for you to do. And when I say a lot for you to do, your gift, sharing who you are, sharing your story, opening up, but sharing it in third person or sharing it as an observer looking down. Don't be in that story when you're talking about it. Start, because you don't want to keep bringing it back. You want to release it. Okay, Kayla, I really need to start journaling. Yeah, look, journaling is incredible. It can bring so much to you, especially if you're feeling really emotional about things. Understanding where those emotions are coming from and being able to then write a positive affirmation around that for a week or two, to start bringing in that more enlightened vision of what you're meant to be doing. Maria, I did some body alchemy work and found out that there is something my soul went through in a past life. Okay. So again, Maria, this could be a generational lineage that you've brought in, and suddenly something triggered that to open up the fear. Start investigating that internally. There's so many healers on this show, on this platform. Use it to the maximum to be able to, and sometimes you've got to ask people to provide a service. And yes, you may have to pay a fee for that. But if it means that you're going to move through this with absolute confidence, then sometimes that's what's got to happen. So, there's so much to take away from here. Like I said, as a breakthrough specialist, I work with people every day that are, break through different behaviors that they don't even know where it's come from until we start talking. And, really does move them through some stuff very, very quickly. So, I wasn't going to offer this, but if anybody does want a free session, want a revival call with me, then please book in through my Unique Vibrations page. There is something that you want to work through. I do a revival call that you can, talk to me and find out what's going on. So I'm happy to do that. And you just go to it's on here, Unique Vibrations on Facebook. And then what you can do is just book an appointment through there. So I'm more than happy to do that. Any message from past loves? One's my brother, Stephen, passed 18th of January 2019. Oh, Kim, okay. Do you know what? I don't know. What was there something with his nose or top lip? Just tell me that, because that's what I was feeling just a little while ago, and it may have been when you were thinking about this. So if there's something to do with that relates to him, then definitely he's in this space watching over you. And I think always past ones, especially when we're really close with them, we do tend to, their spirit does tend to guide us unknowingly, unless you tap into that. So if you open up to that, you're going to feel his presence. Okay. That needs to change, Maria. That term, that wording, the language that you're using around what you're feeling, has to change in order for you to move forward. So while I understand what you're saying, it's important to know that your language creates your reality. If you want to know more about that, let me know, because I'm happy to talk to you on that. I think it becomes more personal though. So as I said, go to my page and book a call with me if you want to find out more. Language is very important. What we're saying to ourselves in our minds is still understood by the universe. So the more you say something to yourself, the more you continue to use that language, then the universe, that's what you're vibrating out to the universe. When you start believing there is more, and affirmations will help you to override the subconscious belief, that you can become very positive in that. So, know that that's very true. Just heard nothing at all. Not sure. Not sure, Kim. Hi, Anne-Marie. Welcome. I always have tears in my eyes. Can you see why? Are they tears, Anne-Marie, or are they something else? Oh, wow. 12 o'clock. Oh, my God. We are over time. Be a little bit more specific, Anne-Marie, and I will answer your question in the comments when I get a chance over the next 24 or 48 hours. Not sure he had cancer. Thank you, my lovely. You're welcome, Kim. I just wanted to know if he's happy. Look, absolutely he is. I can say that with absolute confidence. When they have suffered in this life, they are now free, and they are living with this angelic feeling of calmness, joy, and happiness. So just know that everyone that has left has gone to a much better place, surrounded by lots of beauty. That's all I know. And I know that, that doesn't say a lot, but it's definitely what happens. So, Maria, my language has gotten very negative since I started going through all this. Yep. So, guys, I really have to go. Sarah will be all over me for being late if I don't leave off here. So I will come back. I will answer some comments. As I said, if you want to book a call with me, it is absolutely free. It's a 15-minute revival call. Go to my Unique Vibrations page. Have an absolutely extraordinary week. Love and blessings to everyone. May you have a wonderful afternoon and weekend. Bye for now.